we got halibut steaks, trimmed bone and cut into small cubes. So that's what we got here. This is an interesting ingredient, tamarind. So tamarind you have to soak in water. So if you want to take the pulp out of it, soak tamarind. It comes like a dried seed. It has got some seeds as well, but we'll put it into the water, take the pulp off and strain it. So it goes there. We got some, this is called fish tamarind, very classically used in southern India cooking, called kodampuli. So we add a little bit of water to it. We'll add a little bit of water so that it's softened up. It looks like a berry which was sun dried and smoked. That's where the color, and is salty as well. It gives a nice sharpness contrast to a fish curry. We use highly in the fishes which are more fishy, kind of like sardines, mackerel, where you've got a fishy taste. So this works very well and cuts that fishy things off. So to the pan, we got some vegetable oil, but we classically use coconut oil. So we can start with some vegetable oil in. This is called fenugreek seeds, again, which gives a very rustic flavor. But you need to be very, very careful because this can turn bitter as well. So when you add the seeds in, you make sure that it turns golden brown and it does not burn. So slowly add it to see. So basically what I'm trying to do is impart flavor. So the fenugreek seeds impart its flavor to the oil. So it's always better to start the oil from medium to high rather than very high where it's all cut off. We'll allow that to brown. Then we got some here sliced onions, ginger julienne, green chili slit, curry leaves. So now we add onions. The reason I'm throwing things is it's all measured. So I believe a precise way of cooking rather than 2 spoons or 3 spoons. I use everything by grams and liter. Ginger juliennes, slit green chili, and fresh curry leaves. So you started with fenugreek seeds, browned it, ginger, onion slice, ginger julienne, slit green chili. And again I use some interesting things like Kashmiri chili powder. Kashmiri chili powder gives nice color. So we don't use any artificial color in the food. It's natural. It's come from, I got a supplier in London where we source it. It's quite difficult to get it in Cardiff because it's expensive as well. Does not mean that people don't buy it, but we use as a supplier, so he sends across to us. This is the part we need to be careful. When you get the powdered spices in, it burns faster. So lower the temperature and or take off the flame, throw it in. Kashmiri chili powder, turmeric powder, tomatoes, and we add salt. The reason we add salt, the tomato cooks faster and everyone more like a mushy kind of thing. So we want it more like a paste. So the salt pushes the water through the ingredients and it cooks it faster. By the time we got coconut milk powder. I use coconut milk powder because you get tins and cans, but the consistency is not the right. So I prefer coconut milk powder, 1 part with 2 parts of water. So it's 100 gram, 200 ml of lukewarm water, and this is coconut paste. So desiccated coconut ground into a fine paste. So we add 2 together, the coconut powder and the coconut paste. Some water. Tomatoes and masala is going through. Now we try to take the pulp out. So it's basically press it nicely so the tamarind start. Basically this gives a bit of sourness to the curry, but the difference between the tamarind and a smoked tamarind, that gives a nice sharpness as well. This ends with a sweet taste and that ends with a nice sharp one. Goes into the pan. And we throw the residues out. So we got this is the base for the curry. So it's onions there, tomatoes there, ginger, Kashmiri chili powder. So this makes a base for the curry. So when you use the kokum, we just only use the seeds. So I just soaked in water to soften it up. So we just add it. So normally once the curry is done, we just take it off, because if you leave it for a longer time, it imparts more and more flavor and it becomes too much overpowering as well. So once the curry is done, I prefer to take it off. So I don't leave it the smoked tamarind in the sauce. So the base curry is done. The fish is ready to go. So we got all the steaks cut, trimmed. So we add that. So again, when handling the fish, that's where you need to be careful. If you go on like stirring, it breaks into pieces. So you need to be very careful. But halibut is still a better strong fish. It does not break, but you still need to be very, very careful. It takes a couple of minutes to cook. By side, we'll do the tempering for this as well. So we got again vegetable oil for the tempering. Heat the pan up. The reason I'm adding more oil this time is I need to brown the shallots. So that's the reason it's more oil, otherwise it won't brown, and you would have seen I've used a very little oil here when we started. The fish is halfway through, then I'll add the coconut paste and milk together, that mixture. You can check the consistency if you want. If you think that it's too thick, then you can add a little bit of water. But I think it's all right now. We'll see where we are. The pan does not like us. I'll change the recipe. It makes your life easy. We allow this to brown. Then we got some Kashmiri chili powder and curry leaves and some fennel powder to finish it off. So it's now brown. It's not burned. So you can see it's almost brown. A touch of chili powder, curry leaves. Back to fire for a minute. Not a minute, a couple of seconds. And that goes on top of the curry. Comes back here. With a touch of fennel powder. The fennel seed powder. I think you can easily make it. The prep takes some more time. How good the prep is, be the best product. So, Very nice.